Hi, and welcome to Anne's Family Recipe. Today we're making the perfect accompaniment to any soup or stew, cornbread. This cornbread recipe is from an online baking blog called Sally's Baking Addiction. And I used to use boxed mix to make my cornbread, but once I found this recipe, I never turned back. It is my absolute favorite. The cornbread it's crumbly in nature, but it's not super dry. It's really moist. It has an awesome sweetness. There's a little bit of honey and brown sugar in it. Crispy crust on the outside, very moist on the inside. You're really gonna enjoy this one. We're going to start making our cornbread by whisking our dry ingredients together. So in this large mixing bowl, I have 1 cup of yellow cornmeal and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And then in the smaller bowl, I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and a pinch of salt. So I'm just going to add all these things together and whisk them up. Now for the wet ingredients, this recipe calls for 1 cup of buttermilk. And to be honest, I never have that on hand, but it's really easy to make your own by combining white vinegar or lemon juice with whole milk. So we're gonna do that today. I have the biggest container of white vinegar here. So I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of that into my measuring cup. There's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way to the 1 cup line with my whole milk. And then we'll stir that together. Then I'm going to set this aside for about 5 minutes and we'll incorporate it into our cornbread batter. Next, for my wet ingredients, I have 1 stick of unsalted butter that I melted, so it's in this little mixing bowl here. And I have 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, 1 egg, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. So we'll whisk all that together. So all that's left to do is to incorporate all the ingredients together. So we have our homemade buttermilk, and you can see as it pours, it kind of got a little bit thick. It's gonna be great. It'll add a nice tang to our cornbread, and of course keep it very moist. And then our butter mixture. You want every last drop of this. And then I just have to whisk it all up. So my batter's all ready, and I have an 8x8 baking dish here that I sprayed with some cooking spray, and I'm just going to pour my batter in. You can see how light and airy the batter is. It's going to be such a good texture when it's baked. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees, so all that's left to do is to bake our cornbread for about 20 minutes until it's nice and golden brown on the outside. It's going to be crispy on the outside and light and fluffy on the inside when it's done. Definitely check it though, probably around the 18-minute mark, just so you don't overbake it. My cornbread baked for about 20 minutes, and I let it cool for a good ½ hour, but it's still a little warm, which makes it extra delicious. So now I'm going to cut a little piece and test it out. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, it's so good. So it still has, like I said earlier, kind of a crumbly texture, but not dry at all. That's just kind of how cornbread is. You know, it's gonna crumble. This one is so tender and moist. Oh my gosh, it's so good. This bread is super tasty as is, but my favorite way to eat cornbread is with tons of butter and jelly on top. So we're gonna try it that way today. That might be a little extreme. We'll cut back for the camera. A little butter, and this jelly is so good. My mother-in-law just gave it to me. It's raspberry key lime. Oh my gosh. We'll add that on top. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's so good. It works really well with like a cup of soup, a bowl of chili. great for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I eat it all day long. This will probably be gone within 24 hours. It's really, really good. I hope you make it. I hope you love it. And I'll see you again soon for another family recipe.
For the full recipe, check the description box below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen.